mu ne man damaa bëgg su ma demee wutal leen kër goo leen dëkk ndax dëkkuwaay yi xat na xat goo xamante ne gis na xale yi dem mu wax na papaam man damay dem man nag mu waxtaan ak papaam léegi ma ne papaam comme dafa bëgg a dem àndal ak moom. papaam tam oote foofu ñu ne ko moom waxoon nañu heure bi muy départ mais dana fii am na fi gaal gi fi suux te ñoom ñooñu la war a doon loolu nag moo xamal ne dee na sama jëkkër nag si la feebare na ba gaañu noonu di ko souffrir bitti rek ndax gisuma sama doom ji ma taxoon a dem ji ma ne moom bu ma demee li ma bëgg naa la ko defal gisuma ko boobu ba tey lépp nag nañ ko teg ci loxoy yàlla rek te xam ne yàlla moo ma ko joxoon moo ko jël ñi fi nekk nag ñu ngi faraatu di ma jox may lekk daal ku ma déggal ku ne te nga waxtaan ak man doo dem fu waay nekk boo liggéey am sa wërsëg ja tax yëpp xam nga ne jamono boobu sax dee yi bareegul nii sax moom ba muy dem dee yi bareegul nii waaye jamono bi dee yi bari day man ni dangaa xaru sax day man ni dangaa xaru di man bu ma jëlee sama doom demee gisuma ko ma jëlaat keneen mu dem xamal na rek man maa sacrifier samay doom te loolu duma ko def fu waay toog boo xeebul li nga am bu yàlla déwee dina ñëw wërsëg jar ta xeeb man ku ma déggal ku ne doo dem man sama waa kër moom kenn du dem moom te keneen ku ma déggal it doo dem.
dugg naa école tamo may 5 years waa dem ba grade 9 so wala dem grade 10 ñàkk am xaalis so lu moo tax ma jàppaay suma school bi dama school bi nii so gambe métti lu nekk di métti na kon suma yaay di dek ak suma papa nii so si laa bàyyi may bàyyi Gambia fii tamo may 16 years dañ dee téye fi ni total gaay dina am lekka bu baax fi sango bu baax sax du ko dee am lu ko dañ dee sango bi daal noo saabu dee use saabu so noonu lañ dee coupé ndox rek so loolu moo tax nii dañ dee feebar foofu tamit ba pare ñu dee feebar ak ñu yëpp dañ dee fanaan benn place kii am na mun na moo am feebar yow am loo feebar mu dem mu transport ko si yow da nga am feebar boobu di seen feebar boobu fee xaalis ñu bay la su nekkul loolu doo dee ñibbi so duñ dee mën a am téléphone tam suñ ñoo koolee suñu gaay suñ demee foofu ñu tas ko si dëkk bi nii because ga laati because Libya fu nekk président la so Gambia du si yëpp la ku dem Libya ku dem bu Gambia soo ko bëggee join so lu moo tax ñu foofu bu ko foom association ni pour Gambia yu si bu gaa bàyyi fii bu gaa dem ñu toog fii ñu jàppale suñu pour si ëllëg
not to try. This is a deadly journey. But they tell me, you don't look at TV, internet, they are saying this journey is dangerous. I told them it's the media, seeing is believing. If I go, I will see. I went through Niger to Libya. You see dead bodies on the highways. People got arrested every day, tortures. Tripoli is worst because you have to run away from the police, the civilians, and the rebels. They used to attack black people in their compounds, in their houses, anytime. Finally, we got caught by the soldiers. They took us to prison. I was in the prison for 3 months. Yeah, the Libyan authorities, the Libyan police, yeah, they were maltreating us, torturing, beating. And now that we are back Me and my other colleagues are trying to form the association. Will prevent youths from using this irregular migration.
This is the kora. It's a 21-string harp from West Africa. My name is Sona Jabate. I'm a kora player and a singer from the Gambia. I belong to one of the griot families who have been keeping this tradition alive for over 700 years. I didn't put myself into traditional context of playing the instrument. I only targeted what was a new thing, which was the stage, the international stage. That I think is what gave me the freedom to be able to pursue it. Getting an education, a good education, is vital to your success internationally. So for me, the education that I received in the UK was also a very, very important part of my development. Just as important as that was the fact of going back to Africa, because we are not getting the right expertise coming in, and the people who are best suited to develop the country are Gambians themselves. We need to find a new way to innovate, to make sure that our traditions stay alive. One of the most important ways to do that is to start to institutionalize aspects of our country industry. So the school that I set up is the first school which has now started to institutionalize our tradition, our cultural traditions from that particular part of West Africa. It has dedicated curriculums which have developed ways of teaching the tradition to students of all ages and from all different backgrounds. So I'm very excited that we have the prospect of working together with the Youth Empowerment Program, which is with the ITC. And what we're really looking at is to find ways to, again, engage the youth in terms of entrepreneurship. So I think it's very important that we really develop the culture on the ground, and that's what I'm really looking forward to, working with the Youth Development Program in really formalizing ways that we can constructively develop it for the international.
If you could describe your style in 3 words, what would they be?
Bold, colorful, and playful. My name is Awo Konate and my brand is Yao's Creations. So I started with one tailor working from home. So I'll do the designs and the tailor will do the tailoring by putting the pieces together. And then I'll go from door to sell. We had like garbage storage in front of my house. It wasn't cool to be in the front of the house to start with, and so I asked my parents if I could use it for my showroom, and that's where we started as our first showroom. That was different from what the normal customs or norms of doing things in the Gambia is. A lot of people didn't even think I was Gambian because I was doing contemporary African wear. So the tourists loved what I was doing from the onset. The Gambian market is very small. We don't have a culture where people go out and buy, you know, like when you go to other African countries or in Europe where people are just happy to go out shopping. And so it's a struggle, to be honest. So for me, going to Liverpool and having the chance to meet potential sponsors or partners or buyers that we could supply to make our business grow more is an amazing step. So I'm really grateful to you for that. In our DNA, our other thing apart from just producing quality stuff is to empower the youth. So what I do in terms of youth empowerment is doing events wherein they come and showcase their talent, like talent shows. I go to schools from time to time where we talk about self-esteem, being confident and believing in themselves and realizing their talents. You know, I also open my doors to internships. So when they come in, they also train as to how to do quality sewing. By the completion of the 1 year, they do sew like the professional tailors would. And right now, Gambia is at a level wherein the youths are eager and hungry to be successful or to be job creators or job developers, or, you know, just to help develop our country.
Have you heard of bottle flipping? Well, me and Eta,
Eta.
Ibrahim Gambo here, we're going to join UNICEF and flip some water for climate change while we're here in Niger. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Too many children around the world don't have access to clean water, and climate change, it's only making it worse. Without clean water, children like Eda here get sick of deadly diseases. Join me and UNICEF and Eda in flipping water for climate change. Boom.
wannan ya bige ni tana wannan ya tire ni tana ke matan boko haram ki aje mana kayan mu ina je wajen ba ko ina na je matan boko haram ake bagi na ji kamar ne ba a so na kuma ba dun ba mutane na nan suke mun
abanyankore muri iyi gurupu nta kibazo dufitanye nabo dukora neza ariko aho ngera muri iyi gurupu ndakuvuga ko naguze ingurube ifite amezi ihita ibwagura imaze kubwagura nibwo nubatsemo iyi uko bimeze mba numva ubuzima bwanjye burimo burahinduka bugenda bwiyongera cyerekana yuko n'ibintu ushobora kuzabigeraho mbitekereza ku mutima wanjye ngewe ubwanjye numvaga nk'uko mbonye inzu nk'iyi ivuye mu gitekerezo kivuye mu mushinga wacu nk'uyu wa group fish cage nkaba mbonye inzu nk'iyi numvaga nakomeza mbonye nk'amafaranga sinyiryamemo gusiga hinduka stowa y'imyaka kugeza igihe nanjye imyaka nzajya mvana hano ntwara Kampala nanjye nkageza igihe cyo kwivuga nkagura akamodoka nk'abandi nkivuga wanjye nkuko nabonye iyi nzu nanjye mu gitekerezo cyanjye numvaga yuko nk'umuntu bishobora kongera bigakomeza bigatera imbere
Water is the part of life. Without water you cannot survive. The water is not enough for us. We will stay sometimes 3 days without water. We are suffering.
All of you are getting water from there. You can find a line up about to 100 meters when the break are parking looking for water. They tell us, we need water, why don't you bring us water? The water is not enough.
If you get the water, you'll be happy. We just tolerating. We just bear conditions. Bearing conditions, just.
Scelto menale, dori menale, iko speak whatever. I'm a second. Chanove. نوتنا النور موت قبل نجي خوارمه هو تنا أتشوما نوت ماذا المرخمة أنا دور غمه
Boys, it's before they afraid. Here it's okay. They calm. They are more happy.
We hope starting a good life.
No, very good. Only good life.
Not very, very good life. Only good life.
I saw his genuine interest for the children, the parents he was meeting, the dialogue that he managed to create in such a short time. I think this is promising, and I think it will remain in his heart. Well, I told him how much Greek people have been showing solidarity. I think that's the first message that he has seen himself. But this solidarity can only last if, in the conditions that Greece is facing, it is helped by international solidarity.
He wanted to work, and he demonstrated this from the beginning. He was serious and very effective in everything. And of course, he wanted to learn the job.
بعد فکر این یه جوری بود که من حتی شبا میخوابیدم خواب میدیدم، کابوس میدیدم، استرس خیلی داشتم. میام سر کار یکم خسته میشم، وقتم میگذره، شب میرم خونه راحت میگیرم میخوابم.
To leave your place and your house, it's a very, very difficult decision. And you don't do this for simple reasons. And especially you don't do this only for money.
آدمای خوبی هستند، مهمون نواز هستن. درسته ما مسلمانیم، مادرم حجاب داره، خواهرم حجاب داره. که آرزومه همین الان منو بفرستن پیش خانوادم، مادرم و خواهرم رو بفرستن پیش پدرم. من یه دونه پسر دارم و خانومم، تمام زندگیم همونا.
بالنسبة للمحل، هو أول محل ابتدأ بهذا الكامب. بالنسبة للشغل، أنا أجيت على الشغل ما أعرف أي حاجة. علمت هنا أساس الشغل، والشباب هم اللي علموني مثل كيف أسوي الفلافل، كيف أعمل اللحم، كيف أعمل البطاطا، كيف أشتغل، كيف أخذ وأعطي مع العالم. هم اللي بدأوا بالفكرة وهم اللي أنشأوا هذا الشغل، وهو مصدر معيشة بالنسبة للمنظمات بشكل كامل. تجي كلها تاكل بهذا المحل، بالنسبة للعالم اللي بالكامب كلها تجي تاكل بهذا المحل. الهدف منه إنه إحنا ما بدنا نعتمد على حدا، مش كل اللاجئين اللي يكونون قاعدين مثلا إنه خلاص هذول ميؤوس الأمر منهم. ناس بإيدها صناعات، مهن لسه بشكل شيء مو طبيعي.
ترباية الحمام بتذكرني بسوريا طبعا، منطقتي بالشام، دمشق. يعني أنا هون صار لي باليونان سنة، والاعتناء فيهم حلو كثير، شيء حلو. ودائما يعني بيكون كل واحد عنده هواية إنه بيلتهي فيها، بينسى همه بينسى. أنا هوايتي مثلا الحمام، وبينسينا همنا شوي يعني. وبقعد معها كل يوم تقريبا أقل شيء 6 ساعات. طالما عم بدير بالي عليهم وخايف عليهم مثلهم، يعني بحبهم مثل اولادي. مو ما كان طلع خلص يلا صاحبهم، لا، صاحبهم مميز. الحمام، هي تربية الحمام انه سلام يعني على كل العالم، فالشيء حلو انه الواحد يحس بالسلام ناحيتهم.
Για 50 άτομα μπορούν να πάνε. Γιατί πάντα κάνω έτσι παραπάνω. Δεν κάνω για ορισμένα άτομα, γιατί πάντα κάποιος έρχεται. Hello, hi. Καλά. Καθίστε, hello.
Ερχόταν και ολόκληρα της. Μας κάνανε πεινάμε.
Παλικάρια, 2 μέτρα και σου λέγανε πεινάμε. Έλα τώρα. Ήτανε αφλία η κατάσταση, Ήτανε πάρα πολύ. Δεν μπορεί τώρα.
The mother is one in the world. One, just. But I think she's woman changed my mind.
Minha mama sina, πρέπει να τις αγκαλιάσουμε όλοι μαζί. Όλοι. Γιατί πρέπει. Γιατί μπορεί και εμείς αύριο να βρεθούμε έτσι, όχι.
The days seem endless. In the mud and cold, the makeshift camp at Idomeni is less a refuge than a trial. Mohammed al-Khalil fled the war in Syria with his family of 4, looking for safety in Europe. They have been at Idomeni for 20 days.
حياة صعبة هون، خيم ومطر وبرد وحمام ما في وأمراض ونحن بكل الأحوال ندور مكان يعني آمن فلقينا المنظمات هاي الأمم المتحدة حل بالنسبة لنا، لأن احنا ندور الأمان وندور مشان أطفالنا، مشان ننسى الأيام اللي مرت علينا ونتأمل إن شاء الله خير يعني.
UNHCR have told Mohammed of a safe and legal way to travel to other countries in Europe through the relocation program. He'll apply. He's desperate to find somewhere dry, somewhere secure for his children. There are 13,000 people here, families like Mohammed's. Each day is a struggle for food, shelter, health care.
We need to see a mechanism where the EU countries show solidarity to Greece and Italy and make available relocation places where refugees can be moved. This is the only option to relieve pressure of Greece.
Mohammed is taking that route, and the first step is to the bus, which will take his family to a hotel nearby.
اخترت هذا البرنامج لأني أتأمل شيء أحسن يعني إلي ولأولادي، وهون الحياة صعبة كثير يعني صار لي أنا هون 20 يوم.
Other families have made the same decision. A few hundred join Mohammed and his family. They will apply for relocation and live in a hotel while waiting for their applications to be processed. They have left the misery of Idomeni behind.
A place of hope for refugees on the Greek island of Leros. These refugee children from Afghanistan, Iraq and Syria are back in class. And so are their refugee teachers. 34-year-old Zakia used to be a biology teacher in Afghanistan. Once a week, she teaches Dari here.
من درس میتونم ولی برشان طبعا نگاه امید پیدا میشه. وقتی درس میتونم وقتی درس میگیرن وقتی کوشش میکنم زیاد میفهمانمشان و درباره آیندهشان گپ میزنم که ان شاء الله امیدواری برشان میدم که آینده درخشان خواد داشتن طبعا که امیدوار میشن.
Classes run from Monday to Friday. Children are taught art, languages and science. 16-year-old Tuba is from Afghanistan. Like most here, she's missed years of education. But all that's changing now.
The first day that I come here, I was so happy that I saw different people from different countries or different religion, different language. But I was so happy that now I can have friends, I can learn something, and the day will be the best for me when I am in school.
The Leros Educational Center is a joint initiative by UNHCR and its partner agency Save the Children.
It's opening a new world again when so much darkness they have been experiencing while they were traveling or while they were waiting for decisions, and they have been waiting too long. This place is a place where hope begins again.
For Zakia, it is an opportunity too. She and her family of 5 have been living in this reception facility for almost a year. Like many here, she has applied for asylum in Greece and is waiting for an answer. In the meantime, teaching gives her a purpose.
بله اهمیت زیاد داره، اهمیت خاص داره. گفتم پیشترم گفتم که وقتی که من درس میرم درس میتم در هفته یک بار، امو احساس خستگی که می داشته باشم یا امو مشکلاتی که من در کمپ میبینم یا در خانه میبینم اونمو برطرف میشه و از طرف دیگه اهمیت خاصی به این داره که طفلایی که اونجا هستن اقلا چیز را یاد میگیرن.
The goal is eventually for all refugee children to be enrolled in formal Greek schools. But until they do, centres like these are essential. Here, children can be children again.
بنتي هاي صدرها دائما تعبانة من البرد، وعندي كمان نفس الشيء الكبيرة، مو حالة ربو بس على البرد، بس عنده حساسية الثلاثة من البرد الكتير.
The Bekaa region is actually one of the coldest areas in Lebanon. Temperatures drop below zero and it tends to get also very, very icy. We have refugees who live in different types of shelter, such as the informal settlement that you can see here today, but also in different shelter conditions, such as garages, warehouses, substandard buildings, and also unfinished buildings.
لو ما حطونا هدول يعني العازة على الحيط كنا أكلتها البردة.
قصة العموم طولة ما قصرت معنا.
يعني كان غرقان وطلع من البحر.
هي من الشكرات كل الشكرات.
لما بيجي حدا من اوروبا وبيلاقوه انه او من اي دوله كان بيجوز بحياته كله ما غسل بندوره ببيته او قطع سلطه او كل عم يشتغل مشان اخر شيء توصل الوجبه، بتلاقي مثل ما انك شايفه بيطلع المطبخ هو اللي بينجح وقتها.
اليوم عم نعمل رز فريك عن رز بفلفل اسمه مع الفروج مع وشه المكسرات.
I'm here like since I don't know 5 days, and the rhythm is really like sometimes really hard, you know, like to make some rice and chicken and put it and yalla yalla yalla. So in television it's a lot of like image, like picture with war. Here's positive image.
أهميتها كثير منيحة للبيت يا بنتي، يعني أحيانا الإنسان ما معاه يقدر يروح يجيب طبخة، يعني عم يلاقي هالصحن جاهز عم يجي الحمد لله رب العالمين.
عندنا فلسطيني، لبناني، سوري، ما عندنا أي مشكلة من بيجي بيفطر معنا.
كان جوزي هو يأمن كل شيء، وهلأ أنا لوحدي يعني عم ربي عيلتي. أنا بالمساعدة المالية بقدر أنا أدفع على الأجار الأوتوكار. انا بقول لهم لاولادي انه انا ما رح ورث لكم شيء، انه بعد ما مات بيكم انا ما رح ورث لكم شيء، انا بقدر اعلمكم، بقدر اشتغل تعلمكم انتم، بس تتعلموا انتم من خلال شهاداتكم، انتم بتجيبوا اللي بدكم اياه.
They are able to go to the bank whenever they want to withdraw the money. It gives them dignity, and it gives them the freedom of choice, and it's really important for them.
ما بنزل، ما بروح بترجع حدا.
والله يوم نطبخ شوربات، يوم نشتري عدسات مجروشات نسوي شوربه، والله نسوي كاسة شاي ونقعد نبل الخبز بكاسة شاي وناكل نتحمد الله نشرب كاسة شاي وهذه شاي.
وصلني المازوت والتغذية والله كل يوم نصرفهم وما عم نلحق ولا شيء، والشيء غالي وأنا مريضة.
The problem we have is that we should be helping 76% of the population, and we are helping only a portion of the 58% under the extreme poverty line. At the moment, the vulnerabilities are increasing, and we are barely maintaining the level of assistance we had the previous year.
ايه احنا وصلنا مازوت بس بنشتري نجيب بهن اكل للاولاد.
المعيشة يعني بخاف من المعيشة بس، كل شايل همه، والله فكر من خلص دواء فكر منين رجلي، ما في لا شغل ولا في شيء، وين هو؟ وانا زلمة عطيب وكبير عمري 90 سنة.
It helps people in need who don't really reach out to other people.
A lot of the street children have taken this opportunity to come and find items for their families. The wall is being replenished by kind citizens. It's being looked after by kind citizens. It is a testament to our faith in human kindness. It's not our wall, it's everybody's wall. And kindness needs no face, kindness needs no name. This is by the people, for the people.
It is never too late to learn. These Syrian refugees come together twice a week to read and write. Ghalia is 44. She never knew the importance of education until she found herself in exile.
يعني هلا بسوريا بعرف انا المناطق كلها بسوريا بروح عليها المناطق كلها، اما هون بلبنان بده دائما انه الوحده بتعرف تقرا.
The facilitator Fatima is a refugee too. She gives these lessons for free.
بلشت معاهم كيف يكمشوا القلم، يمسكوه، كيف يكتبوا على السطر، بعدين الأحرف والحركات. وهلأ صاروا قادرين إنه يطبقوا الكلمة.
The benefits of education are felt far beyond the classroom. Now Ghalia can go back home and help her children with homework.
جاء ألف جاء ميم عاء.
يعني بساعدهم مثلا ماما هذا الحرف كذا هيك الحرف كذا هيك ماما طب الكلمة هيك شو هاي الكلمة شو هاي الكلمة لازم يكون الخط حلو لازم كنت قبل يعني بيكتب الخط يعني ما ميز بين الخط يعني كان سطرين أو ثلاثة يعني عادي أما هلا لا بده يكون في سطر إيه وسطر لا.
About 200,000 foreign children were enrolled in public schools in Lebanon in 2016, the majority Syrian refugees. To succeed, they need help at home.
رامت تامر توتو.
هلا اكيد وقت الاهل بيتعلموا رح يفكروا 1,000,000% انه يعلموا اولادهم، يعني ما 1%. يعني هن بيشوفوا بيطلعوا على حالهم انه احنا وصلنا لهون لانه ما تعلمنا.
Ghalia knows exactly what she wants for her kids.
هلا بناتنا بدهم يتعلموا مشان بكره لما يتجوزوا يكونوا متعلمين بيساعدوا اولادهم بيعلموا اولادهم.
Gharam is one of 6 Syrian refugees, now working women. Shifting through recyclables is their lifeline. It is their first ever paid job.
يعني الوقت اللي كنت بلا شغل كنت عم عاني كثير من المصروف كثير يعني بس وقت انه جيت دلوني على هذا الشغل واجيت اول شيء شغل كثير مريح واللي عم نشتغل معهم كثير مناح.
The women are all single mothers. They lost their husbands in the war. For them, this work ensures their livelihood. And it also helps the country.
من ضمن الشق الاجتماعي اللي عم نشتغل عليه نحن فكرنا انه نخلق فرص عمل ونحول من ازمه النزوح الموجوده بلبنان من طاقه سلبيه الى طاقه ايجابيه.
The company employs 17 refugee women and men, most of them Syrians. Lebanon's garbage crisis broke out last summer after the closure of its main landfill. Rubbish piled up across the city. The crisis created work opportunities for refugees.
شغل حلو وعم يفيدنا بالمرتبة الأولى إلنا وكمان يعني إنه عم يفيد الشعب اللبناني إنه يعني هلا إحنا عندهم أزمة بالشغلة النفايات وهيك ونحن عم نساعدهم.
Most of Gharam's salary goes to pay the rent. She still struggles to meet all her family's needs.
وبتفوتي بقى على بيتك مو إنه مثلا بتقعدي ببيت بترتاحي تفوتي بدك تطبخي. الأولاد أمي بدنا أمي ما بدنا هاي جابت لي هاي ما جابت لي ليش بنت خالتي عم تعمل هيك.
Despite the difficulties, Gharam's chance to work provides some security and hope for a better future.
عم نضطر السمكة في عيلة بدها تسافر حلمها الحقيقي تسافر يعني في عنده بنت صغيرة تبزع تسافر ليش؟ قال مشان ما تغرق بالبحر وياكلها السمك بقى هي قصة السمك يعني.
هي مجموعة لعب كل لعبة لها اسم لاجئ بحلب. هيدي أذرية جاية من مجموعة The Aleppo Collection. هي بتحكي قصة حلم لاجئ سوري يعني مثل هيدي قصته لحسن هو بده يرجع يبني البيت تبعه بضيعته رسمنا له البيت تبعه وهيدا وفي قصته هون مكتوبة ورا وهي هيدي قدرية بتكون أمه واللي بيطرزها هو كمان لاجئين بيطرزوهم وبيصيروا هيك انه لاجئين عم بيساعدوا اللاجئين.
طرزت هاي اللعبة اسمها سلمى ففي طفل سألنا شو أميتك الوحيدة؟ قال أرجع على بلدي وأتجوز. فادي اسمه فادي الولد.
الناس اللي عم بيحبوه هو القصص يعني والقصص وبيعرفوا إنه هلا أنا إذا اشتريت سلمى بكون عم بساعدها لسلمى إنه يعني the fact إنه عم بيروح المصاري تبعهم عم بيرجع بيروح لشخص واحد كتير عم بيأثر فيهم. في كتير نسوان بيعرفوا يطرزوا. It's a hidden talent, it's a skill that they don't know they have.
ايه برسم. حي الله شي برسم هذا. يعني تلاقيني قاعدة أيام شاردة برسم العاصي عندنا شجر وشلون العالم قاعدة شلون ما يعني هيك حلمي يعني بصفي. يعني بقعد بتلاقيني على طول مثل فيلم ستيلا ما قدامي شغال.
بيقدروا يستفادوا منها اللبنانيين واللاجئين السوريين. بدعي العالم أنا تكون عن جد تكون عندها إيمان بالعمل الإنساني أول شيء، وتقدر تساعد مين ما كان. إنه هي كانت ممرضة لأن عندها خبرة بهذا الموضوع.
فقدامنا الخير والشر، ليش ما بنعمل الخير؟ بصير غيرنا بيتعلم. يعني لو ما قلت للناس اللي تعوا اعملوا بيقولوا لي فلان عمل، ليش فلان عمل؟ انا ما بعمل. ما ضروري على الصعيد ادوات طبيه او اي شيء، يمكن اوقات بالكلمه بتريحي اي شخص.
بدي اعتذر لانه بدي اطلع وفوت، ما في اقعد بالبيت.
ما بدنا نحكي بالجنسيات، اليوم كلنا أخوة بالإنسانية أول شيء. لازم نوقف حد بعض ونساعد بعض.
È stata un'esperienza nuova per tutti.
At first it was very difficult because I wasn't able to speak Italian.
Però c'è stata la fiducia di affidarci a vicenda.
I've never lived with a family before in my life. I've been living on the streets in Ghana. I have someone who cares for me. My mom was raped and then she get pregnant and that was me. Because of that, I just grew up alone. There are these smugglers who took people to Europe. I know that it's very dangerous, but I just wanted to take the risk. Our boat was sinking. 2 people died in my boat.
Mi sono accorta di alcuni atteggiamenti che rivelano un po' il trauma che lui ha subito. Spesso si svegliava la notte, si svegliava urlando. Per lui è stata una grande difficoltà inserirsi nell'ambito scolastico, non studiava da tanto. Immediatamente lui aveva gettato la spugna, si era arreso. Quindi io sono andata lì a dire tu devi studiare, perché io da mamma non lo posso accettare che tu finisci di nuovo per strada. Questo è stato il momento in cui ci siamo sentiti più mamma e figlio.
The first day at school, they were afraid to talk to me because they said that they've never had a black friend before. But the second day, one person come to me, then they all come together. They were asking me my name, where I'm from. It was cool.
E poi dopo tanto tempo, finalmente un sorriso come si deve.
Non c'è nulla di straordinario, di eroico nell'essere mamma. Sono una mamma come tutte le altre, con gli errori che fanno le mamme, che di botto si trova con un figlio adolescente.
I have family. All these bad experiences that I've had, I think all will be over now.
Tightened borders have decreased but not halted arrivals into Europe. In recent days, almost 1,000 people arrived in Sicily. Most set off from Libya, but conflict in the country has pushed refugees and migrants to find safer routes.
In the past weeks, we've seen an increasingly number of boats that sailed from Egypt heading to Italy, and this is worrying. We are concerned about that because these are big fishing boats that can bring more than 300, 400 people, and the route is very long, the journey is very long. It might take 10, 16 days.
Ali has just been through that journey with his wife. They fled the ongoing war in Yemen, leaving their 2 sons behind. He was a shopkeeper. He lost his house and business in the conflict. As they boarded an overcrowded boat in Egypt, they knew that reaching Europe was a matter of luck.
لأن أنا أموت لهم هم أطفال كيف يموتون أو نموت مرة واحدة أقل حاجة يبقى واحد هذا اللي كررت فيه.
Ali left his 12 and 17-year-old sons with his sister, hiding in the mountains in Yemen.
أوصيت وصية لأولادي، كتبت لهم وصية، قلت لهم دامت في أشياء عملوها في الحياة بس هذا وصيتهم إنهم يتعلموا ويدرسوا.
He wants to apply for asylum in Europe, open a shop and reunite his family. A dream which he shares with many of the refugees who've made it to these shores.
À travers le trajet que nous avons traversé, est un peu difficile de l'expliquer aujourd'hui, mais quand même, je vais te le dire, en grosso modo, ce n'est pas quelque chose qui est facile.
Oui, j'imagine.
Okay, c'est parce qu'on a risqué notre vie pour avoir une vie meilleure. Et d'après avoir traversé et venir ici en Italie,
Oui.
on a presque retrouvé ce que nous pensons. Parce que c'est la vie meilleure que nous retrouvons ici.
Good morning, welcome back to Ascent Radio for your usual programs that comes their way every day. I say good morning to everybody, and today we have a wonderful guest in the studio today. She is no other person but Madam Hassan Khan, the Regional Director for Central and Eastern Europe and Commonwealth of Independent States. Also a special coordinator for refugees and migrant crisis in Europe. Welcome to Ascent Radio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Et lorsque j'arrive à nouveau, je n'avais pas de travail, je n'avais pas de métier. Oui. Mais aujourd'hui, je peux dire merci à Dieu et merci à l'association à Santé en Lys qui m'ont donné cet métier encore. Et c'est un métier encore que j'aime très bien et que j'aimerais que ça devienne mon travail aussi.
Your hopes and dreams?
To further my education and to be a nurse, because I know I have the heart of sympathy. I can take care of people. I'm a good person.
Good.
Palermo, Palermo, Palermo è un posto per vivere. Palermo, Palermo, Palermo un posto per vivere.
When people ask to me how many migrants are in Palermo, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, my reply is no one. No one. Who reaches Palermo becomes Palermitan. So we have no migrants.
Palermitanos, no isolation, no discrimination, no prostitution, not interaction, not entertainment. Palermitanos, not development. Palermitanos, Palermitanos, we love the town. Palermitanos, we like the town, just like the mayor, Mr. Orlando.
It is never too late to learn. These Syrian refugees come together twice a week to read and write. Ghalia is 44. She never knew the importance of education until she found herself in exile.
يعني هلا بسوريا بعرف انا المناطق كلها بسوريا بروح عليها المناطق كلها، اما هون بلبنان بده دائما انه الوحده بتعرف تقرا.
The facilitator Fatima is a refugee too. She gives these lessons for free.
بلشت معاهم كيف يكمشوا القلم، يمسكوه، كيف يكتبوا على السطر، بعدين الأحرف والحركات. وهلأ صاروا قادرين إنه يطبقوا الكلمة.
The benefits of education are felt far beyond the classroom. Now Ghalia can go back home and help her children with homework.
يعني بساعدهم مثلا ماما هذا الحرف كذا هيك، الحرف كذا هيك، ماما طب الكلمة هيك، شو هاي الكلمة، شو هاي الكلمة، لازم يكون الخط حلو، لازم كنت قبل يعني بيكتب الخط يعني ما ميز بين الخط، يعني كان سطرين أو ثلاثة يعني عادي، أما هلا لا بده يكون في سطر إيه وسطر لا.
About 200,000 foreign children were enrolled in public schools in Lebanon in 2016, the majority Syrian refugees. To succeed, they need help at home.
رامت تامر توتو.
هلا أكيد وقت الأهل بيتعلموا رح يفكروا 1,000,000% إنه يعلموا أولادهم، يعني ما 1%. يعني هن بيشوفوا بيطلعوا على حالهم إنه إحنا وصلنا لهون لأنه ما تعلمنا.
Ghalia knows exactly what she wants for her kids.
هلا بناتنا بدهم يتعلموا مشان بكره لما يتجوزوا يكونوا متعلمين، بيساعدوا اولادهم بيعلموا اولادهم.
It helps people in need who don't really reach out to other people.
A lot of the street children have taken this opportunity to come and find items for their families. The wall is being replenished by kind citizens. It's being looked after by kind citizens. It is a testament to our faith in human kindness. It's not our wall, it's everybody's wall. And kindness needs no face, kindness needs no name. This is by the people, for the people.
These newborns are fighting for their lives. This is the neonatal intensive care unit at Beirut's Karantina Public Hospital. Here, babies born into poverty get first-rate care thanks to a new pediatric ward built by the Lebanese NGO Birth and Beyond.
In all Lebanon, for example, there's something like 30 beds of pediatric intensive care, and we are 4 of the 30 beds. And you know, all intensive care costs a big amount of money, and private hospitals are always full, and they always refuse patients.
Birth and Beyond aims to serve all underprivileged families. About 60% of the babies here are refugees. Aya was born with jaundice. Her parents met in Lebanon after fleeing from Idlib, Syria.
يعني تمت نهارين لحالها آية هون يعني كتير اهتموا فيها.
Now Aya is recovered and ready to go home. But it is not just refugees who benefit. Osama, whose family comes from the city of Tripoli in Lebanon, was born with a heart defect.
أكيد ما قادرة أحطه بمستشفى خاصة يعني كمستشفى حكومية كل شيء منيح ومعدات ما في غير يعني نفس الشيء نفس المعدات اللي هونيك موجودين هون.
UNHCR covers 90% of the hospital bill and the NGO covers the rest.
They're able to contribute the share that UNHCR is not able to cover. So I think this is a massive benefit to refugees that they can effectively receive quality care free of charge.
I don't understand why poor people should not have the right to be treated the same way as rich people.
Birth and Beyond plans on expanding the ward to include an obstetrics department and wants to replicate the ward in other public hospitals because all babies should have the right to a healthy start in life.
Nelson Mandela's Day, 18 July, every year, the Department of Public Information and other UN offices around the world organize days where colleagues can go and contribute something to public service. Today, in collaboration with the Office of the Commissioner for International Organizations from the Mayor's Office in New York City, and we are here on Randall's Island to participate in cleaning the shore. We have the President General Assembly here, we have the Commissioner for International Organizations from the city, we have the President of Randall's Island Society, and over 60 staff from the UN, and many diplomats. The Ambassador of South Africa is here as well.
I would say Corona bottle tops, number one. Number two, I would say cigarette butts, filters, which of course don't degrade. They get down into the water, fish eat them, they end up in our guts. And the other big one is plastic straws, and funny enough, plastic straw wrappers.
And that's basically it, so it's score time now. Thank you. Thank you again, guys. It was really excellent.
Hi, my name is Lillian Yip, and I'm an online volunteer for UNB. I live in Ipoh, a city that is near the north of Peninsula Malaysia. I've never been to Guatemala, and there's a good chance I might never get to go. But it's still very gratifying to know that that doesn't stop my work from helping somebody there. ADICTA is an association based in one of the poorest regions in Guatemala, and they aim to help small-time farmers sell their agricultural products. What they wanted to do was create literature to help promote both the importance of a healthy diet and of consuming local products. We quickly settled on the format and the type of promotional material which best suited their needs. One of the requirements was that the literature were to be photocopied and distributed during a local fair which means the design has to look good in black and white. The solution was a trifold leaflet that can be printed out on an A4 paper and then photocopied to make as many copies as they want.
Y también los voluntarios Naciones Unidas, sí, ellos también nos han ayudado para ver de hacer algunos documentos que nos sirvan como la publicidad de nuestros productos. Un trifoliar en donde esté ahí, ¿verdad?, indicado cuáles son nuestros productos, ¿verdad?, cuáles, qué contiene cada uno de nuestros productos, cómo puede contribuir nuestros productos a mejorar las condiciones de la salud de nuestros asociados. Los voluntarios de Naciones Unidas nos han ayudado también a conectarnos con otras personas internacionalmente. Nos han ayudado para que nosotros contáramos con la página internet.
I had a great time working with Adicta. It felt satisfying to be able to help in some small way. There are thousands of people like me all over the world who are volunteering their time and skills online through UNV. The ancient university town of Oxford is home to one of them.
I do online volunteering with a nonprofit organization called Respect University. And what we do is offer free post-secondary education courses to refugees and IDPs across the world. Volunteering overall was something I've always wanted to do, whether it was with the Peace Corps or UNV. However, with my circumstances, the online volunteering has been actually a little bit better. I've always been working, and I've never been able to actually go off for 6 months or a year. The online volunteering is very good because it's very flexible. We have 3 regions Respect University is working with, basically Uganda, Afghanistan, and Nepal. And we have many students who are taking these courses that we offer, the free post-secondary education courses, and we have many more students who want to take classes as well. None of this would be possible without the tutors. And who are the tutors? Well, basically, they are online volunteers. And all of these tutors I found were through the UNV Online Volunteering Service site, and they have done a remarkable job. And again, without them, we would not even have Respect University or be able to offer free post-secondary education courses to war-affected refugees and IDPs. Well, we have an organization called AWIC, Afghan Women's Educational Center. They're in Kabul, Afghanistan, and my contact works for the organization as like a director. And he was really happy, basically, for Respect University to offer these type of courses to some of their students, especially the female students. With Afghanistan, they do have access to internet through AWIC, which is very handy because they do have a resource center they can always use. Some of them are actually from Kabul, some of them come from outside provinces, more dangerous areas, and they're trying to get their education. They're getting access to education that they cannot get already. Also, they're getting a different perspective. And thirdly, actually, since a lot of them are young women, they're very eager for the knowledge. They're very eager to participate and share ideas. I've been told a couple times that they do get into groups, and they'll work on the assignments together. Maybe the only challenge would be, again, maybe the communication between me and the students. It is artificial at times, but that's something that we're also looking forward to, working out. Maybe do more like video conferencing, like through Skype or maybe the Gmail chat. They have that these days, and really have more of an interaction between the tutor as well as the students, and not always go through the ground coordinator liaison all the time. I think the work is important because, again, it's just bringing additional skills and knowledge to people who want them, who don't have access to them.
You can get support to achieve your organization's goals without barriers of time and place. All you need is a device, a connection, some time, and a task that can be done over the internet. Volunteers willing to share their skills and expertise are within easy reach. Sign up your organization today, and you can soon start involving online volunteers in your work. Tell us about yourself as the representative of your organization. Tell us what type of organization you represent, and take your time filling in all parts of the web form in detail, and upload supporting documents if asked to. By now, you will have received an email in your inbox with a link to activate your organization account and finish signing up. You can now submit your organization profile to the UNV Online Volunteering Service team for their review. If UNV approves your profile, you'll be able to create your first online volunteering opportunity. Take time to plan your involvement of online volunteers. What is your need? How can you break it down into tasks? What type of profiles are you looking for? The better prepared you are, the easier it will be to complete the web form and create an online opportunity that attracts the right volunteers quickly to meet your needs. There are screen tips and a good to know section to help you. In addition, the UNV Online Volunteering team is ready to provide guidance as needed. When you are happy with the opportunity you drafted, submit it to the UNV Online Volunteering team for review. You will be notified when your opportunity is published and every time a new application arrives in your account. Review applications as soon as possible. As soon as you have enough, close the opportunity to stop receiving more. Quickly reject applications of volunteers you do not want to involve. It is good practice to inform them of your decision by email. Invite shortlisted applicants for a test, a short interview, or inform them that you selected them. You have selected one or more volunteers to work with you. Collaborating online should be an enjoyable and enriching experience for you and the volunteer. It is good practice to kick off the collaboration with a briefing message. A key ingredient for successful collaboration is clear, prompt, and appropriate communication. This is true up until the end when you and the volunteer are asked to give feedback to each other. When you and your volunteer have submitted your respective feedback forms, you can generate the certificate of appreciation for each volunteer to confirm and recognize their contribution to your organization's work. Good volunteer management is the best way to ensure a satisfactory experience for your volunteers and to show you have what it takes to change the world through online volunteering.
Martina Schaffenberg.
And then the phone call came, and it was in the evening. It was around like 8 or 9, and he told me that he's at the Austrian border. He didn't know exactly where he was.
When I heard the voice, like I say, okay, she didn't forget us, and she want to help.
I was completely overwhelmed. Okay, then I said, just okay, we're coming.
We didn't talk a lot about this, and we didn't think about a lot of this. We say yes. We said really a yes in a minute. Then I called Ingbert and said, no, tomorrow we have a new son.
value with my mother. Me and Martina, it's the same, really, like the mother and the son. And I just remember always when I say goodbye for my family, it was like you can say it's the last goodbye. Sometimes I don't like to speak about the war. Martina, she told me like, you must to speak about the war. It was better.
When he loses his family, his country, his friends, what he did and would like to have. And outside now is smart and nice and funny in this way, but it's a big story inside.
It was really nice days. I wake on the basket, I sleep after the basket, and this is my life and my dream and everything. My future is not a lot of dreams. Maybe I will work like builder or anything. I just want to live in peace. It's good feeling when you get the trust. And you trust me, Martina?
No.
No, me.
Tortada siman ayaa la ogdaa anoo baydhowruu iyo eriti sibantalyeer bii waraabtay garaawa taas seedi madagaan miilakubaad sibankan soomaalida ba qaataale ahayn kuwa saasagaa nibka u jeeda sibankiis wadan yaalile anagsada.
The lack of rainwater is causing this cholera outbreak. The patients don't have any clean water and sufficient water to drink and to wash their clothes, so it is easy to spread this disease. UNICEF is helping us very well. They support the supply. Also, they support us as the patient is coming here to give some motivated. Also, UNICEF is giving us the drugs to give us the patients. Really, we are very happy for UNICEF.
cabsi way jirtaa annagu hadda waxa weeye meesha aan joogno waxa waayo dad waxaa jiraan cadowno ah anime 24 saac wixii annagu aan la tacaalno waa waxyaabihii ayaga ay abuurtaan oo ay samaystaan weeye cadow buu leeyahay marka qofkii asaga ahaa waxa weeye mar walba waxa kugu taagnaanayo in uu kugu soo maqan yahay.
Really, it's a constant problem. The mines really are living enemy. Mines will not die.
We had hand Dina ahelnay martaas tu qorxeen ayaalina waa dhintaan anina
Often after conflicts in countries such as Somalia, there haven't really been detailed records kept of where the minefields are, where the battles have been. It takes somebody to start a systematic process going across the country and talking to communities, talking to the people who live there and asking them if they know of minefields, if they know if there are any bombs kind of left behind, have there been accidents, has anyone been hurt? With funding from Japan, we've been able to start the process of defining the scale of the problem in Somalia, defining the scale of the explosive hazards. Really, there has to be a Somali solution, and for us and the government, it was very obvious that the Somali police force was the answer. So we've worked for the past 5 years with the Somali police force to help them develop a capacity to train and equip them and mentor them in developing a bomb squad, which has turned out to be enormously successful. I mean, these guys, these young Somali guys primarily, have cleared a majority of the unexploded bombs from Mogadishu city. That's an epic achievement. That's a great achievement that Somalis can be extremely proud of.
والله أنا شعبك كلي أمانة وحوي إيش يقع شعبك كلي ماهن ملك استو عالم كمد مركب ابن عصاك لو كدعو أدنى ودغنيا صوته وحنا وجاي وحيلة جيسين يسوع يدبعتها يضدك السمينة يا وحنا قرن محمود أنا وحنا هاي هالحاس أيان لي هاي يولح عياله شان قبلوت يو هالويل وايو الدجان كيجو مقدشو مقدشو أيان دجناهي مركي أي مغنى لو كلو أنا جو شقة كتير ومال قرح بقى كدعي دبا كدعي ويسوعان صوته وحيوجهين إن شقوين كسجها يعني كتير وحن أوصل دورتي dalkayaga maanta wuxuu ku jiraa burbur iyo dhibaato fara badan in marka experience aan noqdo khibradeeda aan yeeshto dabadeedna dalka iyo dadka aan ka badbaadiyo 18 sano ama 24 sano oo burburka ahayd dagaal ayaa socday dhibaatooyin badan baa dhacayay meenooyin baa dhulka gelinayay kubal isku ridayay wixii ayaga inaan shacabka ka badbaadiyo aniga nafsadeydana aanan ogaado dhibka ay geysanayso inta kale aan ka badbaadiyo waxaan dareemay hawshii aan qabtay inaan ku guuleystay sidii badbaadada ahayd oo dhabta ahaydna aanan baalkii u badbaadiyo u maray tilaabtaydeed.
The whole process is about trying to develop and help the Somalis to develop systems that survive the UN leaving. Somali-owned, Somali-driven and assisted by us.
تنطلق بعد أيام أعمال الدورة 73 للجمعية العامة في دورتها الاستثنائية الطارئة هذا العام، وسوف يشارك وفد كبير من مصر برئاسة السيد عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهورية، ويتضمن الوفد عدد كبير من السادة الوزراء وكبار المسؤولين في الدولة. وسوف نلتقي الآن بسعادة السفير محمد إدريس مندوب مصر الدائم لدى الأمم المتحدة. سيادة السفير أهلا بك معنا.
أهلا بحضرتك والمشاهدين الكرام.
نريد أن نتحدث عن أجندة مصر في الدورة 73 للجمعية العامة، حيث أن مصر ستشارك بوفد كبير رفيع المستوى يرأسه السيد رئيس الجمهورية. يعني ما هي الملامح العامة الأجندة المصرية في هذه الدورة؟
بداية أهلا بكم وبالمشاهدين وبالقراء الأعزاء. طبعا الفترة القادمة هي فترة الازدحام في الأمم المتحدة وفي الجمعية العامة والنشاط المكثف، لكن هذا لا يعني أن نشاط الأمم المتحدة هو فقط في الشق الرفيع المستوى الذي يبدأ مع افتتاح دورة الجمعية العامة، لكن طبعا الأعمال متصلة طول العام، لكن الشق الرفيع المستوى هو الذي يحظى بأكبر قدر من الاهتمام والتركيز والإبراز الإعلامي. بالطبع مصر تشارك في هذه الدورة وهي أولا أنهت عامين من عضوية مجلس الأمن، حفل بالكثير من القضايا الهامة والنشاط المصري المكثف. تلا ذلك رئاسة مصر لمجموعة 77 والصين خلال هذا العام، وهي أكبر كتلة تفاوضية في الأمم المتحدة تضم حاليا 134 دولة. ثم تستعد مصر أيضا العام القادم لرئاسة الاتحاد الأفريقي، فهناك انخراط مصري مكثف في القضايا الإقليمية والقضايا الدولية. بالطبع أجندة الأمم المتحدة كما تعلم هي مثلث له 3 أضلاع. ضلع يتعلق بالتنمية المستدامة، ضلع يتعلق بالسلم والأمن وحفظ السلم والأمن، والضلع الثالث يتعلق بالقضايا الإنسانية وحقوق الإنسان. وبالطبع في كل هذه المجالات هناك أولويات مصرية، هناك اهتمامات مصرية، وهناك إسهام مصري في كل هذه المجالات. طبعا ستكون هناك فعاليات رفيعة المستوى عديدة يمكن أن نتحدث عنها لاحقا خلال هذا الشق رفيع المستوى تشارك فيها مصر، سواء من خلال السيد رئيس الجمهورية أو السيد وزير الخارجية أو أعضاء الوفد المصري الذي سيشارك في أعمال الشق رفيع المستوى للدورة 73 للجمعية العامة.
سيادة السفير، بالطبع سيادتك حددت وقلت أن هناك 3 أضلاع للمثلث الخاص بالأجندة المطروحة على الدورة 73 ومنها التنمية. يعني لو نظرنا إلى مسألة التنمية داخل مصر، أين نحن الآن في مسألة التنمية المستدامة وتحقيق الأهداف الإنمائية للألفية والأجندة 2030؟ أين نحن الآن؟
هي طبعا يعني يمكن أفضل في هذا أن أشير إلى التقارير الخاصة بالمؤسسات الأممية والدولية حتى لا تكون وجهة نظر انطباعية.
صحيح، نحن نريد ماذا يقول الآخرون.
التقارير الخاصة بإدارة الشؤون الاقتصادية والاجتماعية في الأمم المتحدة، لدينا التقارير الخاصة بالمؤسسات الدولية المختلفة، هي تشير إلى أن مصر تتحرك بقوة على طريق الإصلاح الاقتصادي، تشير إلى أن النمو الاقتصادي ارتفع، التضخم انخفض، تشير إلى أنه هناك مشروعات كبيرة يتم تنفيذها، وبالتالي والتصنيف الائتماني لمصر في ازدياد، وبالتالي هي تعطي تقييما إيجابيا للجهود المبذولة. طبعا يجب أن ندرك أن هذا الإصلاح هو طريق طويل، وهذا الإصلاح أيضا له تكلفة. صحيح. وبالطبع بدون شك بلدنا وشعبنا العظيم هو البطل الأساسي لأي إصلاح اقتصادي، لأنه هو الذي يعني ينجز هذا الإصلاح، وهو أيضا الذي يتحمل تكلفة هذا الإصلاح. لكن هذا الإصلاح بالطبع يحقق المصلحة المصرية على المدى المنظور، وهناك الكثير. طبعا هناك أيضا قطاعات حصل فيها تقدم كبير جدا، موضوعات قطاع الطاقة في مصر، قطاع الكهرباء، قطاع الاتصالات، التيسيرات التي تتم لجذب المستثمرين، الاهتمام بتنمية مناطق حيوية استراتيجية مثل سيناء، وهذا أيضا يتصل بالرؤية الشاملة للتعامل مع قضايا الاستقرار والتطرف والإرهاب، أنه التنمية جزء أساسي في تحقيق سلم وتحقيق أمن، سواء على المستوى الوطني أو الإقليمي أو الدولي.
ده صحيح. طيب، يمكن لو نظرنا إلى زاوية السلم والأمن الدوليين وهما الطرف الثاني في الأجندة، يعني هناك الكثير من حوادث الإرهاب والأحداث المترامية في المنطقة العربية، والتي تؤثر بشكل عام على مسائل التنمية الاقتصادية أحيانا، وتؤثر أيضا على خطى التنمية في المنطقة بأكملها. يعني كيف ترى الشكل العام لحالة السلم والأمن الدوليين في المنطقة العربية أولا بصفة عامة ومصر بصفة خاصة؟
هناك بالطبع إدراك متزايد أن الارتباط وثيق بين التنمية والسلم والأمن، وأنهما وجهان لعملة واحدة. بدون تنمية يصعب وجود سلم وأمن، وبدون سلم وأمن يصعب وجود تنمية. هذا الإدراك الوثيق تحركت فيه مصر بداية من عضويتها في الاتحاد الأفريقي ونشاطها داخل الاتحاد الأفريقي، وارتباطا أيضا بنشاطها في الأمم المتحدة، خاصة هذا العام كرئيس لمجموعة 77 والصين. بالطبع بحكم هذه الرئاسة مصر طرف أساسي في التفاوض وفي تنسيق مواقف المجموعة فيما يتصل بمختلف القضايا ذات الصلة بالتنمية وهذه قضايا كما أشرنا لها انعكاساتها فيما يتعلق بالسلم والأمن أيضا. بالطبع هناك تحديات كبيرة تواجه منظومة السلم والأمن الدوليين. كانت هناك تركيز في فترة ما على التعامل مع هذه القضايا من منظور أمني فقط، ومن منظور ربما التعامل مع الظواهر بدون التعامل مع الجذور والجذور المسببة وحصول المرض وليس العرض. هناك بالطبع أشياء كثيرة تتعلق بهذا الأمر، بعضها يتعلق ب البطء التنمية والاحتياج إلى الإسراع بخطط تنموية طموحة. هناك أمور تتعلق ب الأوضاع الاقتصادية والاجتماعية في الدول والحاجة إلى الاهتمام بها وإلى تطويرها. هناك أوضاع تتعلق بالشباب، وكون المجتمعات في الدول النامية أغلبها من الشباب، هذا يحتاج إلى رؤى واستراتيجيات تتعلق بشحذ وتوفير فرص عمل للشباب وشحذ قدرات الشباب. وهذه كلها حقيقة أمور تضعها مصر في أولوياتها في إطار رئاستها المجموعة 77 والصين. تضع مصر أولوية الشباب والقدرات الإنتاجية للشباب، تضع مصر أولوية المرأة ودور المرأة، تضع مصر أيضا أولوية القضايا المتصلة بالعلم والتكنولوجيا والابتكار. هذه كلها أمور يعني تتصل بشكل مباشر بإنجاز التنمية، وتتصل أيضا بشكل مباشر بحالة السلم والأمن. هناك طبعا شق آخر يتعلق بالسلم والأمن يتصل بعمليات حفظ السلام. صحيح. ومصر من الدول العشر الأولى في الإسهام بقوات عسكرية وشرطية وخبراء مدنيين فيما يتعلق بمهام حفظ السلام الأممية.
يعني حضرتك لو تناولنا مسألة السلم والأمن الدوليين، كيف ترى شكل التعاون الدولي مع مصر في هذا الملف بالذات؟
هناك إدراك أنه أولا إدراك متزايد بأهمية البعد الإقليمي في التعامل مع قضايا السلم والأمن الدولية. لذلك تجد أن الأمم المتحدة أبرمت اتفاقا مع الاتحاد الأفريقي للتعاون في قضايا السلم والأمن. وبالطبع أيضا ميثاق الأمم المتحدة يتضمن دورا هاما وأساسيا للبعد الإقليمي والمنظمات الإقليمية فيما يتعلق بحفظ السلم والأمن الدوليين. بالطبع إذا أتينا لهذا فمعنى هذا أنه في إطار هذا الإطار الإقليمي الدول الكبيرة والدول الهامة والدول ذات الانخراط وذات القدرات عليها مسؤوليات كبيرة. ولذلك أيضا مصر حاليا عضو في مجلس السلم والأمن الأفريقي. صحيح. وبحكم هذه العضوية يمكن مصر جمعت في وقت واحد بين عضوية مجلس السلم والأمن الأفريقي وعضوية مجلس الأمن الدولي وعضوية أيضا مجلس حقوق الإنسان في توقيت متزامن. لكن معنى هذا أنه هناك إدراك أن الدول الكبيرة في القارة الأفريقية كمصر عليها مسؤوليات كبيرة وينتظر منها أدوار كبرى. على سبيل المثال الإسهام المصري في قوات حفظ السلام في مالي، هناك إسهام مصري كبير، وهناك طلب من الأمم المتحدة بأن تزيد مصر إسهامها واستجابت له مصر، وأخذ في الاعتبار أنه عمليات حفظ السلام في مالي تعتبر عمليات تتم في ظروف وتضاريس صعبة وبيئة أمنية خطرة، لكن مصر إدراكا بدورها ومسؤولياتها أقدمت على ذلك وتقوم بهذه المسؤولية.
بالمناسبة كم هو عدد القوات المصرية المشاركة في حفظ السلام؟
حاليا تجاوز 3000، حوالي 3100 مشاركة، فرد مصري يشارك من مستويات مختلفة ومن تخصصات مختلفة في عمليات حفظ السلام الأممية.
يعني رغم كل ما نسمعه عن عمليات حفظ السلام وما يشوبها من بعض المخاوف التي ترتكب من قبل بعض القوات المشاركة، يعني أخبار قواتنا إيه الموجودة في أفريقيا خاصة في منطقة الاعتداءات والانتهاكات المعروفه يعني. وترتيبنا ايه يعني في النقطه دي بالذات؟
فيما يتعلق بالقوات، احنا الترتيب السابع، ترتيب مصر في المرتبه السابعه ضمن الدول العشر الاولى فيما يتعلق باسهام بقوات عسكريه وشرطيه على مستوى.
انا اللي يهمني ترتيبنا في السلوك، لان المشكله في السلوك دي مشكله معقده يعني.
هذا امر مهم، واشير هنا الى تقرير السكرتير العام مؤخرا. يمكن امس مصر قدمت مشروع قرار حظر بالتوافق والاجماع وتم تمريره امس، يتعلق بمكافحه والتصدي للممارسات التي تتم في اطار عمل حفظ السلام فيما يتعلق بالاستغلال الجنسي.
صحيح، ما هي دي النقطه اللي يمكن اقصدها.
سياسه انه لا يكون هناك اي تسامح في اي تجاوز فيما يتعلق بهذه النقطه.
ماذا تقول تقارير الامم المتحده عن قواتنا؟
اقول لحضرتك انه بالطبع مصر قادت تحرك ادى الى انه هذا الامر وضع على اجنده الجمعيه العامه للدوره 72، وامس تم اقرار قرار تمرير قرار قدمته مصر بالاجماع، تم الوافق عليه بالاجماع، وسيتم وضع هذا البند ايضا على اجنده الدوره المقبله 73. وتقرير السكرتير العام بيعطي شهاده لمصر في السلوك المتميز والناجز، ان هناك اي مخالفات يتم التحقيق فيها بشكل سريع، ويتم اتخاذ اجراء فيها بشكل زمن يمكن يعني يصف التقرير بانه زمن قياسي. هذا تقرير سكرتير عام الامم المتحده.
هل هناك اي مخالفات ارتكبت من قبل افراد مصريين؟
استطيع ان اقول انه يعني لم نتلقى في الفتره يعني لم تمر امامي في الفتره الماضيه، لم نتلقى اي شكوى او نتلقى اي مخالفه.
سلوك متميز
يعني على العكس شهاده بانه السلوك المصري سلوك متميز، لانه كمان هذه الامور ترتبط بالاعداد للقوات. طبعا احنا لدينا المؤسسه المصريه سواء المؤسسه العسكريه او الشرطيه مؤسسه عريقه، مؤسسه لها تقاليد مستقره، مؤسسه تتمتع بقدر عالي من الانضباط. في نفس الوقت من يتم اختياره للمساهمه في هذه المهام الامميه يتم بعنايه شديده وفق معايير محكمه، وقبل ان تشارك هذه القوات او يشارك هؤلاء الافراد تتم برامج محدده مكثفه تتعلق بالمهام المنوطه بهذه المشاركات، تتعلق بالدول والبيئه الثقافيه والاجتماعيه التي سيتم المشاركه فيها، وبالتالي يذهب المشاركون وهم في حاله تاهيل وادراك للمهام واستعداد لممارستها بافضل شكل ممكن.
استاذ سفير، تسمح لي بقى نعرج على الملف الساخن حقوق الانسان. نلاحظ خلال هذه الفترة وجود الكثير من التقارير الحقوقية التي تهاجم مصر، وربما هي محاولات للتدخل في الشأن المصري، ونحن بالطبع يعني كلنا بنرفض أي تدخل أجنبي في الشأن المصري أو حتى انتقاد مبني على أساس غير سليم. أين نحن مع الأمم المتحدة في مسألة حقوق الإنسان؟
أشكرك. طبعا هذا موضوع مهم، وكما أشرت أنه هذا يمثل ضلعا هاما من عمل الأمم المتحدة، المسائل الإنسانية ومسائل حقوق الإنسان. بداية دعني أقول لك أننا في هذا الملف نحن لسنا في موقف الدفاع، نحن نتحرك من أرضية صلبة ورؤية واضحة. بداية اهتمامنا بحقوق الإنسان ليس اهتماما نابعا من مطالبات أو ضغوط، ولكنه اهتمام ينبع من أن هذا هو ما يجب أن يكون: احترام حقوق الإنسان، الإعطاء المواطنين الحقوق الكاملة. هذا أمر يعني هو ليس منة وليس منحة، ولا يجب أبدا أن يكون استجابة لضغوط خارجية، ولكن هذا هو ما يليق بشعبنا ويليق بتاريخنا وبوضعيتنا. طبعا دايما ما نقول للآخرين، طبعا نحن كأي دولة التدخل في الشؤون الداخلية مرفوض، صحيح. التدخل في أعمال القضاء مرفوض، هذا أمر أي دولة بالتأكيد سترفضه. وهذا نحن نرفضه مثل غيرنا. نوضح للآخرين أيضا أنه عند التعامل مع الوضع في مصر يجب أن يكون هناك نظرة للإطار الذي يتم إثارة فيه هذه الأمور. أولا يجب أن تكون هناك معلومات دقيقة موثقة، لا يجب أن تكون الأمور بناء على ادعاءات مرسلة. فالتدقيق والتوثيق هذا أمر في غاية الأهمية، لأنه من السهل جدا في أي مكان أن تكون هناك ادعاءات، وطبعا هناك أمور كثيرة مدفوعة بأهداف سياسية يجب أن يتم التدقيق من أن هذا الأمر صحيح وليس أمرا مدفوعا بأغراض أخرى. فالجزء الخاص بالتوثيق والتدقيق هذا أمر مهم، لكن أيضا نقول أنه الإطار الحالي في مصر نحن لدينا مشكلة إرهاب يعاني منها أهلنا ومواطنونا، وبالطبع حق حماية المواطنين من الإرهاب هذا حق أساسي من حقوق الإنسان. إذا قلنا حق الحياة وحق عدم التعدي على حياة الآخرين هذا أمر من أبسط قواعد حقوق الإنسان، وبالتالي نحن نعمل في إطار هناك تهديدات إرهابية في داخل مصر، طالت المدنيين بشكل عشوائي، طالت الأماكن ندور العبادة، طالت الكنائس والمساجد. هذا أمر لا يمكن أن يكون مقبولا.
حتى الأمن أعتقد يعني
هذا بالطبع أمر يعني هذا التعدي على الأرواح والممتلكات أمر لا يمكن أن يكون ضمن حقوق الإنسان، ولا يمكن أن يكون ضمن أي حرية. حرية القتل والتدمير ليست من حقوق الإنسان. البعد الآخر يتعلق بالوضع الإقليمي المحيط.
صحيح.
مصر محاطة بوضع إقليمي متوتر ومنفجر، الوضع في ليبيا، الوضع في سوريا، الوضع في العراق، الوضع في اليمن، الوضع في الساحل الأفريقي وأشرنا إلى مالي. كل هذه بؤر للإرهاب والإرهابيين وتزويدهم بالمال وبالسلاح يعني. والآن عندما في العمليات الأخيرة التي تتم ما يوجد لدى حوزة هؤلاء الإرهابيين ليس الصورة التقليدية القديمة من
جريمة عابرة وعابرة للحدود،
حاجات عبوات منزلية، لكن هناك أسلحة متقدمة وذخائر متقدمة ووسائل اتصال متطورة. هذا أمر يتم بالتأكيد بتمويل ودفع وتخطيط خارجي.
صحيح.
البعد الثالث هو أيضا الوضع السياسي، المشهد السياسي الداخلي في مصر.
صحيح.
المشهد السياسي الداخلي في مصر هناك بالطبع حالة أيضا من الاستقطاب، هناك من يود أن يرى كل الأمور من منظور سلبي وعازم على أن يصورها بشكل سلبي. أيضا أقول هناك أيضا من يرى كل الأمور بمنظور إيجابي ويرغب أن يصورها كلها بشكل وردي. والأمر دائما الحقائق هي بين هذا وذاك، هناك إنجازات، هناك نجاحات تتم، وبالتأكيد في أي مجتمع وفي أي سياق هناك أيضا أمور تحتاج إلى أن يتم تداركها وتطويرها. وهنا مربط الفرس أنه نحن نتكلم في إطار الرغبة في التطوير والتحسين، وهنا لا يوجد سقف، ولا نستطيع أن نقول أن أي مكان في العالم لديه حقق كل شيء في مجال حقوق الإنسان. حقوق الإنسان هو مجال مفتوح، مجال دائما مهما حققنا فيه يمكن ويجب أن نحقق المزيد. وبالتالي أحيانا هذه القضية يعني تندرج في إطار الحق الذي يراد به باطل.
سيد السفير، يمكن بالطبع الجمعية العامة ستشهد الكثير من الفعاليات هنا في نيويورك. مصر ستشارك كما قلنا برئاسة السيد رئيس الجمهورية. يعني ما هي أهم الفعاليات التي ستركز عليها مصر؟
حقيقة هذا العام دورة الجمعية العامة مزدحمة بالكثير من الفعاليات الرفيعة المستوى. طبعا الوفد المصري يرأسه السيد رئيس الجمهورية، يشارك فيه سيد وزير الخارجية وعدد آخر من الوزراء. طبعا زحام هذه المناسبات العديدة تجعل أنه بعضها تكون المشاركة على المستوى الرئاسي، بعضها على مستوى سيد وزير الخارجية، بعضها على مستوى وزراء آخرين. ضمن الفعاليات رفيعة المستوى هناك فعالية خاصة بقمة نيلسون مانديلا. الاحتفاء بذكرى مرور 100 عام على ميلاد الزعيم نيلسون مانديلا. طبعا مصر دولة أفريقية كبرى، مصر قادة حركات التحرر في القارة، مصر سترأس الاتحاد الأفريقي العام القادم، فالمشاركة المصرية في هذه الفعالية ستكون لها أهمية وتركز بالطبع على تحرر القارة وكفاحها من أجل التحرر. دور كبير اللي قام به الزعيم نيلسون مانديلا، وبالطبع هذا الدور هو دور قام به أيضا الكثير من الأبناء هذه القارة العظام وآباء القارة العظام، وبالطبع مصر كان لها باع طويل، ولذلك نحن نحتفي بقادة أفريقيا العظام ودورهم في الكفاح والتحرر ومناهضة التمييز والعنصرية وما عانت منه القارة الأفريقية. هناك أيضا حدث رفيع المستوى آخر يتعلق بحفظ السلام. سكرتير عام الأمم المتحدة في مبادرة جديدة دعا إلى عقد لقاء للقادة بمعنى تقديم التزامات مشتركة فيما يتعلق بمهام حفظ السلام. وطبعا مصر أيضا كدولة من كبرى الدول المساهمة بقوات ستشارك في هذا الحدث الرفيع المستوى وتقدم إسهامها ورؤيتها فيما يتعلق بكيفية تعزيز وتفعيل وتطوير عمليات حفظ السلام الأممية. هناك أيضا حدث خاص بالشباب، وكما تعلم أن هناك الآن حدثا دوريا يتم في مصر وهو مؤتمر الشباب الدولي. تم العام الماضي في شرم الشيخ وسيتم هذا العام في شرم الشيخ، والآن البعثات المصرية في الخارج تعمل على التواصل مع الدول والمنظمات للترتيب والإعداد لإنجاز ناجح للنسخة الثانية من مؤتمر الشباب في مصر في شرم الشيخ في نوفمبر المقبل. هناك أيضا اجتماعات رفيعة المستوى خاصة بالصحة، والصحة شق أساسي هذا العام في أعمال دورة الجمعية العامة. هناك اجتماع رفيع المستوى خاص بمكافحة مرض السل، وطبعا مرض السل يفتك بملايين البشر خاصة في الدول النامية. وهناك أيضا اجتماع رفيع المستوى خاص بالأمراض غير المعدية ومكافحتها ومحاصرتها. طبعا هذه الأمراض كثيرة، بعضها يتعلق بالسكر، بعضها يتعلق بضغط الدم، بعضها يتعلق بأمراض القلب، بعضها يتعلق بالأورام. هناك اهتمام الحقيقة وتكثيف ويعكس إدراكا بأهمية الجانب الخاص بالصحة، وهذا أمر طبعا يهمنا، ولنا تجربة ناجحة في موضوع فيروس سي ومكافحة فيروس سي. هناك أيضا اجتماع الخاص بمجموعة 77 والصين، اجتماع الوزاري، و طبعا هذا الاجتماع يتم سنويا ترأسه مصر هذا العام في ضوء ترأسها لمجموعة 77 والصين. أيضا هناك اجتماعان فيما يتعلق بالإرهاب، أحدهما خاص بالمنتدى العالمي لمكافحة الإرهاب، هذا اجتماع يتم سنويا في نيويورك. وأيضا الاجتماع الخاص بمدونة سلوك للإرهاب، هذا اجتماع دعت إليه كازاخستان، وشاركت مصر في المفاوضات الخاصة بوضع هذه المدونة للسلوك. فطبعا قضية الإرهاب قضية بالنسبة لنا قضية مهمة، وإسهامنا فيها إسهام كبير جدا، سواء في إطار الأمم المتحدة أو في كافة المحافل الدولية الأخرى. فهذه كلها اجتماعات رفيعة.
اجتماع الإرهاب هل سيكون على المستوى الوزاري أم
الاجتماع الخاص بالمنتدى العالمي هو على المستوى الوزاري.
تمام.
على المستوى الوزاري. طبعا أيضا هناك اجتماع خاص بتغير المناخ.
صحيح.
والإعداد لاجتماع الدول الأطراف في اتفاقية الأمم المتحدة لتغير المناخ أواخر هذا العام في بولندا، ولذلك هناك اجتماع على المستوى الرئاسي خاص بتغير المناخ. مصر طبعا كضوء ترأسها لمجموعة 77 والصين، فهي تقود التفاوض حول هذا الموضوع، وفي نفس الوقت أيضا رئاستها المقبلة للاتحاد الأفريقي تجعل أيضا المشاركة المصرية ذات أهمية كبيرة. طبعا كل هذه المناسبات طبعا في ازدحام كثيف في البرنامج. طبعا هذا شق هو المناسبات أو الأحداث أو الفعاليات التي تتم في إطار الأمم المتحدة، لكن هناك أيضا شق آخر في مثل هذه الزيارات والمشاركات الهامة على المستوى الرئاسي يتعلق باللقاءات الثنائية.
صحيح.
وطبعا بالإضافة إلى سكرتير عام الأمم المتحدة وشخصيات مثل رئيس البنك الدولي. هناك أيضا ترتيب للقاء عدد من القادة والزعماء سواء في القارة الأفريقية أو على المستوى الأوروبي والدولي. هناك ترتيبات
ما هي أهم اللقاءات التي تم التحديد حاليا بالنسبة للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية؟ هناك لقاء بين الرئيس
طبعا الشق الخاص بالولايات المتحدة الأمريكية هذا أمر يعني جاري ترتيبه وجاري الإعداد له، لكنه حقيقة شق يتعلق بالعلاقات الثنائية فتتولاه سفارتنا في واشنطن، هي التي تقوم بترتيب الجانب الثنائي، وهذا أيضا سيكون شقا في البرنامج سيتم أيضا في نيويورك، لكن ترتبه سفارتنا في واشنطن يتعلق باللقاءات مع المسؤولين كبار المسؤولين الأمريكيين، يتعلق مع لقاء مع شخصيات أو منظمات الأمريكية، يتعلق باللقاء مع الشركات الأمريكية وكبار الشخصيات الاقتصادية الأمريكية. هذا أمر أيضا سيكون ضمن البرنامج وتقوم حاليا سفارتنا في واشنطن بترتيبه. طبعا سيكون هناك أيضا لقاءات إعلامية مع الإعلام الدولي.
مع الإعلام الدولي، تمام. يمكن لو قلنا مستوى المشاركة المصرية في قمة مانديلا أو قمة المناخ، هل سيكون على المستوى الرئاسي أم الوزاري؟
الأرجح أن يكون على المستوى الرئاسي.
الأرجح سيكون على المستوى الرئاسي. سيادة السفير، أشكرك كثيرا ونتمنى أن نلتقي بك مرة أخرى في الأسابيع القليلة القادمة.
أشكرك وأشكر المشاهدين والقراء، وسعيد بأن هناك اهتماما بعمل الأمم المتحدة، وأرجو أن يظل هذا الاهتمام مستمرا إن شاء الله في كل الأوقات وليس فقط في الشق الرفيع المستوى الذي يمثل يمكن ذروة نشاط الأمم المتحدة.
لا إن شاء الله، يعني
مستمر
مصر تعود
على
من جديد.
مدار العام كله.
مصر بتعود من جديد إن شاء الله.
over the previous 5-year period. The investment case also highlights new mechanisms to measure success, ensuring a strict model of accountability, and sets ambitious targets for savings and efficiencies. More information can be found on WHO's website. In a short while, once we're done with my briefing, I will be joined by Santiago Villalpando, Chief of the Treaty Section in the Office of Legal Affairs, and Adama Jang, Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide. They will brief on the forthcoming treaty event and the questions for me. Yes, Sherwin.
Hi, Farhan. What can you say about the decision regarding the unveiling of the Mandela statue on Monday? There seems to have been a great deal of controversy as to where the statue was going to be located in the building. The South Africans, I understand, were told one thing, and then there was a change made to accommodate a big canvas by the Mexican mission, and it's created a great deal of unhappiness. How are these decisions taken, and why is there appearing to be such indecision around where the statue was going to be placed?
Well, these decisions are taken in consultations normally with all of the various bodies within the UN that deal with displays. That includes the Department of Public Information and the Buildings and Grounds offices. And so the idea is to find the best place for a display. And hopefully we can work with member states to make sure that all of them will ultimately be satisfied.
Would you be able to follow up and just get sort of the substance as to how this decision was taken? Because literally the mission was to the South Africans were told one thing, and then without their knowledge, the Mexican canvas, I understand, was then unveiled without them being told that this was the position, initially the position of the the statue, which is now subsequently going to be moved to the visitor center. But there has been a lot of controversy and mixed messaging as to how this was going to unfold. So perhaps if you could...
Well, yes, and we would apologize to any of the missions for any misunderstandings, but what we try to do is accommodate all of the missions and find the best possible space. Obviously, what we want to do is pay respect to Nelson Mandela and to all those who have benefited from his legacy. Yes, please.
On another topic, what are the SG's expectations of the 30th of September referendum on the name issue in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia? Do you have anything on that?
Yes. What I can say on that is that the Secretary General remains convinced that the resolution of the long-standing dispute between Athens and Skopje will have a positive impact in Europe and beyond. The Secretary General encourages all citizens of the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia to recognize this historic opportunity and support the Prespa agreement. Yes, please. Yes.
Will President Trump address the UNGA this year?
I believe that the President of the United States is scheduled to speak, and that I believe will happen under the current program on next Tuesday.
So you confirm for sure he will be here? Thank you.
It's ultimately it's for the United States government and not for me to confirm anything because schedules can always change. We do have a program for the week of General Assembly briefings that's available in our office, and you can see who is slated to speak on which day. Yes, please.
Is Mr. Stein going to meet officials in Venezuela, or is he just going to go to neighboring countries and meet with the refugee population?
Well, this is early days yet. We only just made the announcement over the last few minutes. So he will go on board and see what the best course is for approaching his goals. Certainly, we expect him to meet with any authorities who are relevant for the course of his work. Mr. Badi.
Thank you, Farhan. Today, the Secretary General is scheduled to receive a U.S. Senator. What is the subject under discussion?
As you know, he meets with different officials about the work of the United Nations. And of course, it's important for us to reach out to different officials in the United States system of government because of the close relationship with the United States. That's as much as it's about. Abdulhamid.
Thank you, Farhan. If you have any update information about Mr. Griffith's visit to Sana'a to meet with the Houthis and so he can restart the peace talks.
Yes. Basically, the idea is that by now he should be traveling from Sana'a onward to Riyadh, where he expects to be in Riyadh for 2 days, and then from there he will go on to New York here so that he can brief officials on his recent talks. But as he made clear, after the talks in Geneva, he was going to travel to a number of places, where he first traveled to Muscat, and then to Sana'a, and now to Riyadh, to meet with different officials involved with Yemen, including the officials of Ansarallah, Saudi officials, and officials of the Yemeni government, and try to see where we can go further with the process that was initiated.
Just another question. In his budget, Trump administration is requesting cutting funds from UNICEF, WHO, UNAIDS, UNDP, and other few UN agencies. Any comment on that?
Well, you've heard us say this before, but I'll repeat it again. We believe strongly in the work of all of the United Nations bodies and agencies. We encourage the United States as a long-term contributor and all other member states to support the work of the agencies so that they can go about their mandated tasks. Yes.
My question is, one question is about this, maybe you have answered this question earlier. It's about this proposed Security Council meeting during President Trump's visit on Iran, which the American ambassador had openly said that it's going to be held on. President Trump has presided over that meeting. It's about Iran. And now the Trump administration is saying, no way, we did not say that. So where do we stand as far as that is concerned? Do you have any idea?
Well, because the Security Council president for this month is the United States, I would refer you to the U.S. mission. They are the ones who are in charge of the program of work for the Council for this month, and they can let you know how the schedule is going to proceed and which meetings will or will not be held.
No, my question is, if the president's people are themselves denying that in fact such a meeting was ever considered. And that raises a big question.
Again, I'd refer you to the U.S. mission. I believe they've been making comments on this, and they are in charge of the program. Yes.
Is the Secretary General scheduled, or has he been asked to speak at this Security Council meeting on Wednesday?
First, we'll have to see how the program works out, and then if, depending on how that happens, we'll be able to see whether he will attend or not. Yes.
Hi, Juliet Pineda from Caracas, Venezuela. I was wondering if President Nicolás Maduro is coming, since he yesterday said that there were several attempts to kill him and that, well, he was thinking into assisting to the General Assembly next week.
Well, you can see from the program, like I said, that we have out on our desks, what the roster of speakers is for next week as of right now. Of course, that roster of speakers can always change, and certainly it would be up to the permanent mission of Venezuela to keep everyone informed about who is going to attend on behalf of the government of Venezuela. And with that, let me get to our guest. Oh, one more? Yes.
I point out one thing to you, that yesterday, whoever came with the Undersecretary General, I had never seen, most of my colleagues had never seen him. Who was this gentleman? Nor did he introduce himself, that I am so-and-so, and I'm going to be, I mean, it's all right with us.
Okay.
At least introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, that we are asking you, that you're the one who's
I think he probably assumed that most of you knew him. He's well known to many of your colleagues. That it was Jose Luis Diaz, who handles the task of spokesman for the Department of Political Affairs.
I'm not saying anything other than that.
Well,
he should have introduced himself.
Well,
that's all.
I have now introduced him for you. And now I will introduce our guest.
Thank you.
Okay, please sit in the center seat, and then Mr. Jen can. Okay. Because Adama Dieng is, I believe, on his way to the room right now, we'll do this in a couple of parts. One of our guests is here. One of our guests will come shortly, but we have with us, and we're very pleased to have with us, Santiago Villalpando, the chief of the treaty section in the Office of Legal Affairs, who can talk to you about the upcoming treaty event next week. And then Adama Dieng, the special advisor on the prevention of genocide, will join us when he can. Mr. Villalpando.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to all. I am very grateful for this opportunity to brief you once again on our annual treaty event, which will begin next Tuesday, September 25th. And Mr. Adama Dieng, who is the Secretary General Special Advisor for the Prevention of Genocide, will address you shortly, particularly on the topic of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. The treaty event was initiated by the Secretary General 18 years ago on the occasion of the Millennium Summit and has become a standard feature of the Leaders' Week in the General Assembly. The spirit of the treaty event is very simple. The Secretary General invites high-level dignitaries to seize the opportunity of their presence in New York to join multilateral treaties. The treaty event has been an undoubted success in promoting participation in the United Nations multilateral treaty framework and has resulted in more than 2,000 treaty actions. So as I was saying, the treaty event has resulted in 18 years in more than 2,000 treaty action. Last year alone, there were 98 treaty actions during the event, and major steps in multilateral cooperation have been achieved in the framework of our event. Last year, for example, the ceremony for the opening for signature of the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons took place in the course of our event, with 50 states signing the treaty and 3 of them also ratifying it. We do hope that the treaty event will continue its success this year. On the occasion of these briefings, I do try to draw your attention to the importance of multilateral treaties, which are a key instrument by which member states pursue the objectives of the Charter. And 2018 is a very significant year from this perspective, since it marks the 70th anniversary of the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, I should immediately point out that the Universal Declaration is not a treaty. It is a declaration proclaimed in a General Assembly resolution. But the Universal Declaration was the first step in what was to be an international Bill of Human Rights and would result eventually in 1966 in the adoption of the two covenants on economic, social, and cultural rights and on civil and political rights. It was also the launching pad for other UN conventions on human rights, such as conventions on women, children, persons with disabilities, or racial discrimination. Now, not coincidentally, the day after the adoption of the Universal Declaration in 1948, the General Assembly took a further step with the adoption of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, of which we're also celebrating the 70th anniversary. The convention has today 149 parties, and as I said, Mr. Dieng will talk about it in more detail in a few moments. Throughout the history of the organization, hundreds of multilateral treaties have been adopted in all areas of international affairs, from human rights, peaceful settlement of disputes, disarmament or telecommunications, to trade, the protection of the environment, the fight against terrorism, or international criminal justice. In total, the Secretary General is depository of nearly 600 multilateral treaties, and the discharge of his depository functions are entrusted to my section. The depository is the custodian of the original of the treaty, and my job therefore includes the privilege of keeping the signed versions of landmark treaties, such as the ones I just mentioned. But the depository also plays a fundamental role in the operation of the treaty as the recipient of every signature and every instrument by which states consent to be bound by a treaty. This is what the treaty event is all about. Throughout next week, government authorities will sign multilateral treaties deposited with the Secretary General or will submit their instruments of ratification, acceptance, approval, or accession. We expect participation of several heads of state and government, who will take action on a wide array of treaties, such as the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, the Convention on the Reduction of Statelessness, or the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. Let me take a moment to mention a few developments in the area of United Nations treaties in the past year. I already mentioned that the Treaty for the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons opened for signature in the course of last year's event. Some progress has been recorded since. To date, the treaty has 60 signatures and has been ratified by 15 states. It would need 50 ratifications for its entry into force. In the course of the upcoming treaty event, on the occasion of the International Day for the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons, that's Wednesday, September 26th, a joint ceremony will be held for the signature and deposit of instruments relating to this treaty. It will be officiated by the legal council, and it will have the presence of the President of the General Assembly, the President of the International Committee of the Red Cross, the Undersecretary General and High Representative for Disarmament Affairs, and the head of the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. A number of treaties deposited with the Secretary General have entered into force in the past year. On March 5th, 2018, the Nagoya-Kuala Lumpur Supplementary Protocol on Liability and Redress to the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety entered into force. And following the deposit of the 40th Instrument of Ratification, the protocol to eliminate illicit trade in tobacco products is due to enter into force next week, on September 25th. As you may know, this protocol follows the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control and was adopted in the framework of the World Health Organization. The first meeting of the parties for this protocol will take place in October. Our latest baby, our latest addition to the family of treaties deposited with the Secretary General is the regional agreement that was adopted at Escazú in Costa Rica on March the 5th of this year. The Escazú Agreement was negotiated as a follow-up to Principle 10 of the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development in Latin America and the Caribbean, with the support of our colleagues from ECLAC. The agreement aims at guaranteeing the full and effective implementation in Latin America and the Caribbean of the rights of access to environmental information, public participation in the environmental decision-making process, and access to justice in environmental matters. It is noteworthy that this is the first multilateral agreement, not just in Latin America and the Caribbean, but everywhere in the world, to recognize and guarantee the rights of human rights defenders. Article 9 of the agreement, under Article 9 of the agreement, the parties commit to take adequate and effective measures to recognize, protect, and promote all the rights of human rights defenders in environmental matters. The Escazú Agreement will open for signature at our treaty event in a joint ceremony that will take place on Thursday, September 27th at 10 a.m. The ceremony will be officiated by our legal counsel with the presence of the ECLAC Executive Secretary, and we expect participation at the highest level from several countries from Latin America and the Caribbean. Before concluding, let me say a few words on the logistics of the treaty event. The event will take place next week for 4 days, from Tuesday, September 25th, to Friday, September 28th. And in his letter of invitation to heads of state and government, the Secretary General identified the theme of this year's event as the promotion of human rights through the multilateral treaty framework, to mark, indeed, the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration and the Genocide Convention. The event will take place in its usual location at the General Assembly building in the so-called Kuwaiti boat area near the entrance of the building. The event consists of a series of short ceremonies. These ceremonies are open to UN-accredited press and provide an opportunity for press coverage and pictures to be taken. For information about this treaty event, I invite you to consult our website, treaties in plural, treaties.un.org. The website also contains comprehensive and authoritative information on all multilateral treaties deposited with the Secretary General. We encourage states to take part in the treaty event and invite them to contact us as needed. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm, of course, available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
And I would now like to turn over the floor to our next speaker, Mr. Dama Dieng, the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide. Mr. Dieng.
Thank you very much, Fayad. Friends, let me first of all say that personally I was a bit surprised when really I discovered that we have so large number of states which have not yet ratified the Genocide Convention. As you know, this was the first human rights treaty adopted by the General Assembly in 1948, only 3 years after the creation of the United Nations. And it was no surprise because that it was also adopted 1 day before the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, to which Santiago referred earlier. You may certainly understand that the adoption of the Genocide Convention was an important step in the international protection of rights. It put a name and codified the worst crime one can really see, the crime of genocide, which some even label as the crime of the crimes. And with its adoption, the member states of the United Nations hope it to answer that the crime of genocide, which the world witnessed just during the Second World War, would never happen again. Unfortunately, this aim remains unfulfilled. We have witnessed too many times since 1948 the commission of genocide or other international crimes in all four corners of the world. No region has been an exception. No one would have think that in the mid-90s we would witness a genocide in the heart of Europe. We witnessed it in Srebrenica, where people were killed simply because of who they are, because they were Bosniak of a Muslim religion, And we witnessed it 1 year before in Africa, precisely in Rwanda, where within 100 days, near 1 million people were killed simply because of their identity, because of they were of a Tutsi origin. So today, we have just received the report of the independent expert group appointed by the Human Rights Council on Myanmar. And you are certainly familiar with what they concluded. They did say that what happened there is a genocide. But this will have, I hope, one day assessed by a court of justice, either the ICC or by another court, and that the judges make finally a legal determination of the crimes committed in Myanmar. You may then ask if the convention still has relevance in light of all these genocides which happened after the Second World War. But undoubtedly, I would say it has more than ever its relevance. We can only put the Genocide Convention to rest when the threat of genocide is no longer in the horizon of our society. The problem lies with our lack of commitment towards the convention. And that is why such a commitment must be reinvigorated, as well as our resolve to take action before the threat of genocide starts looming around the corner. And as of today, a total of 149 states have ratified or acceded to the Genocide Convention. However, 45 UN member states have yet to join the convention. And of those, 20 are from the African continent, 18 are from Asia, and 7 are from Latin America. So the lack of commitment of such a large number of states is puzzling. That what message, you may certainly ask, what message those states that have not yet ratified the convention are sending 70 years after the adoption of this convention? Maybe they would say that genocide could never happen within their borders. But as I said earlier, history has shown us that time and again that genocide can happen anywhere. And that is why last year, Secretary General and myself, we launched a one-year appeal for the universal ratification of the convention. And I seize this opportunity to again urge member states who have not yet done so to prioritize ratifying the convention by its 70th anniversary on 9th December 2018. In fact, I was hoping, maybe with some naivety, that during the upcoming treaty event, we would see some member states already making that pledge and depositing their instruments of ratification with the Secretary General. Of course, prevention of genocide requires more than ratifying the Genocide Convention. But by ratifying the convention, states are sending an important signal within their countries and internationally that they will not tolerate this crime anywhere in the world. Ratifying the Genocide Convention is also a matter of moral obligation towards humanity. Let's say it loudly. It is a matter of moral obligation towards humanity. It represents a recognition of the responsibility of states towards their population and shows respect for those who have perished as a result of this crime. The convention has formed the basis of action aimed at the prevention of the crime of genocide. And it has also played a vital role in the development of international criminal law. And I'm well placed, having led the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda for almost 12 years. I have witnessed closely, I would say, the horrors which happened in Rwanda, in 1994. I should also say simply that in addition, considering the negative impact of the commission of the crime of genocide has on international peace and security, ratifying the Genocide Convention, more than being simply a symbol of international unity, demonstrate commitment to the fundamental principles of the United Nations. And when I say threat to international peace and security, you certainly would agree with me that what we have been witnessing recently in Myanmar may constitute certainly a threat to international peace and security. We have seen such mass exodus of people from Myanmar to Bangladesh. And this is still, in fact, continuing some way, and which means although the violence, the level of violence is now less, I would say, intense than it was before. So we have to make sure that we really fulfill our commitment. Unfortunately, we have been saying never again, but never again has become time and again. I thank you.
Thanks very much. I'll open the floor to questions now. If you could all please introduce yourself to our speakers. Yes, please.
Hi, I am Altaf Najib Sada. I came from Afghanistan. I'm part of the RAF Fellowship Program. I work for Bloomberg. Well, genocide is in the rise around the globe. So do you have any figures for the genocide? How many people die as a part of genocide per day or per month or per year? And beyond ratification of the conventions, is there any other thing that UN can do to prevent the genocide around the globe? And which part of the continent of the globe genocide is in the rise or increasing, mostly impacted by the genocide?
Well, let me say, first of all, that genocide is a process. Genocide doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it requires resources, planning, and hopefully that is not a crime which happens every day. But that is why, because it is a process, we can identify the signs, the precursors, which led to the crime of genocide. And we have developed within my office a framework of analysis for the prevention of atrocity crimes, by which I mean genocide first, but also crimes against humanity and war crimes as well. And you will see within that framework that there are 14 risk factors, and 8 risk factors are common to that category of crime I label atrocity crimes. And then you have 2 specific risk factors for each of those crimes. And genocide, for instance, you will see that it is the only crime in which you have a risk factor relating to the intent to exterminate in whole or in part a group which is protected by the Genocide Convention. You know, there are 4 groups which are protected because of race, religion, ethnic, nationality. What does it mean? It means that today, if we are really serious about preventing this crime to occur, we need to put in place mechanisms which will enable us to identify those early signs and to take action. What happened in Rwanda could have been prevented when we start at a time hearing about human being of a Tutsi group named after animals' name, like what we saw in Europe at a time when the Jews were being named after all type of animals' name. That means they were being dehumanized. And when your human dignity is being taken out of you, that means we can kill you without any remorse. And that's why we need to invest more. We need to invest on education to the prevention of this crime. And I'm glad that we are having on the commemoration of the International Day for the Victims of Genocide and Their Dignity on 9th December, a global forum which will take place in Yerevan and with the focus on education to the prevention of genocide. So we need the support of each and everybody. I would say that the prevention of the crime of genocide is a collective responsibility in which I'm pleased journalists have been making a tremendous contribution. And if I refer to the excellent work which was done by Samantha Power following what happened in the Balkan, I cannot but simply say we need to renew this commitment, but we need more to take action. Unfortunately, as we all know, the Security Council has been failing humanity by not taking bold action on situations where we were witnessing the possible occurrence of this horrendous crime.
Thank you. My name is Abdul Hamid Sayam from the Arabic daily Al-Quds Al-Arabi. First, I have two questions. And first, I want you to define the crime of ethnic cleansing and where does it fall within these three crimes that is handled by the ICC: war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. And the second, the ICC has been established, as you know, 2002 became operational. It has looked into about 42 cases. 8 of them were sentenced. But they're all African cases. And it was so good when ICC deals only with African cases. But once it came closer to this, to investigate Israeli war crimes, then it has been threatened. And not only the ICC is threatened, but also the judges that work in ICC, they will be also punished by freezing their assets and preventing from entering the United States. So how do you see this kind of bullying of an international mechanism that could deal with war crimes, including genocide? Thank you.
Well, on the first question, let me say that ethnic cleansing is not a crime which is yet defined in the international law, which has been codified. However, it was coined, as you may know, for the first time by a very eminent jurist, may his soul rest in peace, Sheriff Bassiouni, in the work he did with a group of experts investigating the crimes committed during the Western Balkan War, and later the ICTY, the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, took that notion, that concept of ethnic cleansing, which now, as you may know, it's a very tenuous boundary between ethnic cleansing and genocide. On the second question regarding the ICC, first of all, let me remind you that if the ICC has come into existence, that was thanks to the determination of the African states. Africa played a critical role. And as you may know, Africa represents the largest group of states which have ratified the Rome Treaty. The Rome Treaty was adopted at a time when in Africa and in many other parts of the world, we were extremely worried about what I call the reign of impunity. You had in many countries around the world, be it Latin America, Asia, even Europe, crimes which were being committed and remaining unpunished. So we mobilized. I was among those who were carrying the banner for the establishment of that court. But what we discovered later also was that there were so many judicial institutions which were weak in those countries, including in some of those African countries, and that is the very same leaders of those African countries who referred cases to the ICC. And the ICC works on the principle of complementarity. It takes cases when a state is not willing or doesn't have the capacity to handle the case. An example of the complementarity is the case in Guinea-Conakry, where in September 2009, more than 150 people were killed in a stadium simply because they were demonstrating. And Guinea demonstrated that it has the capacity. The prosecutor agreed with that, and they have been themselves dealing with the case. Now, I reject strongly that idea of selectivity when it comes to Africa. And my hope is that one day the African will themselves handle their cases by themselves. I mean, we have the African Court of Human and People's Rights. As a response, the African adopted, as you may know, a protocol known as the Malabo Protocol, which established a criminal division within the African Court of Human Rights. But until today, how many states have ratified that protocol? That protocol which has gone even too far to the extent of providing a provision considering corruption as a crime which is justiciable before the African Court on Human and People's Rights. Now concerning Israel and war crimes, let's here pause and say, apart those cases I mentioned referred by the African leaders themselves, you have cases which there were only two which were referred by the Security Council to the ICC, including the well-known case of Darfur. And we would have hoped that the Security Council will play a more strong role. That's not the ICC which should be, when we speak about selectivity, but that is the Security Council. And the Security Council, we all know how it operates. Some of the member states in that council have the right to veto, and they can use that veto. But why not to put them on test, on cases? Like today, for instance, the case of Myanmar. Why not to make sure that the Security Council, where I should say, hopefully for the first time ever, issued a statement on Myanmar, the first time ever, send a delegation of members of the council to visit Myanmar and Bangladesh. And most of them returned extremely shocked. But yet, no action has been taken to address the accountability of the crimes committed in Myanmar. Now, maybe for the same reason, as you said, the alleged crimes committed by Israel are not being dealt with. That's not the ICC, but the problem is first and primarily the Security Council, which is a political organ. And it is simply regrettable, I would say, to say the least, that a senior US official, not to name him Mr. Bolton, went to the extent of threatening the judges of the ICC. I mean, what message? I would have hoped the United States, which I respect so much because of the observance of the rule of law in this country. You can be even the President of the United States, but you are not above the law. So simply because the justice system in this country is so strong. And I would have hoped to see the same support to be reflected with the International Criminal Court. Simply, at the end of the day, a human being is a human being.
Mr. Sato.
Thank you very much for this briefing. My question is to Mr. Villalpando. My name is Sato from Japan Public TV NHK. As you introduced us about the nuclear ban treaties additional signing ceremony during the high-level week, so I don't know that you are in the position to answer my question, but what is needed more number of ratification, the country of ratification? You are saying that now the 16 countries of the 50 countries which is needed to be taking into effect. Could you comment on that? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Every treaty requires a minimum number of ratifications to enter into force. The case of the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons is that it says it has a provision that requires 50 ratifications for its entry into force. This is not unusual. Other treaties, such as, for example, the Arms Trade Treaty, required a similar number. Up to now, we have 15, so 1-5. So I'm not very good at math, but I think that we need 35 for ratifications for the entry into force. It is not unusual for this to take some time. As you may know, the ratification of a treaty requires a process at the domestic level that needs to be taken over by the legislative power and often requires changes in the law at the national level. So the fact that within 1 year we had 15 ratification is actually quite good. It demonstrates that a number of countries were able to take that step quite quickly. 3 of them, by the way, took it on the very same day of the signature, the opening for signature of the treaty. So we do expect to receive more. And as I said, next week we have a joint ceremony with high dignitaries present, in which we expect to receive between 4 and 10 actions, treaty actions, either signatures or ratifications to that treaty. Thank you.
In the back.
My name is Solomon Serwanja. I work for NBS Television, but I'm also a RAF fellow. You mentioned that 20 countries from Africa have not ratified to the convention. I just wanted to draw you in on perhaps why has Africa been very reluctant on ratifying to this convention, and are there any efforts, or does the UN indeed have any push that it can have to make sure that the conventions are ratified? Yeah, and I also wanted, again, you read my mind, but I just wanted you to comment on the US threats on the ICC a little bit more. You hinted on it and what it means, and whether you think that the global body needs to move in to sort of put a stop to this intimidation. Thanks.
Well, I mean, as you know, this is not new. I mean, I remember many years ago interacting with some African leaders, friends, who were being threatened that U.S. aid will be cut in terms of military support if ever they cooperate with the ICC regarding the arrest of a potential American. So that is not new. And the same, we saw it also, it's not only about Africa, but even in Europe. At a time, Belgium had to revisit its legislation on universal jurisdiction simply because of the same threat being leveled by the then U.S. administration. And to me, what happened recently with Mr. Bolton is not new. We have had, of course, in between, a situation of proactive engagement by the U.S. administration and the ICC. Of course, not only United States, but you have today also other members of the Security Council, permanent members, who have not ratified the ICC, the Rome Treaty. So our hope is that one day all of them will ratify that treaty. And now, as far as why Africans have not ratified 20, it's a large number. Maybe some, as I said in my preliminary remark, may say, well, we will never have genocide in our count, within our boundaries. I mean, the idea is not that genocide would occur in our country. The idea is, what measure can we take? Just an illustration, Central African Republic. As you may know, Central African Republic has not yet ratified the Genocide Convention. But we all witnessed what happened there. Thanks to sounding the alarm at a time in 2013, the Security Council took action. Until I sounded the alarms, when I say that what I have witnessed happening in CAR reminds me the early days of the genocide of the Tutsis in Rwanda. In other words, if you in this room, if you don't take action, another genocide can happen. A commission of inquiry was established. The peacekeeping mission was established. The commission of inquiry concluded that there was something which one could label as an ethno-religious cleansing in Central Africa. And I remember discussing with members of that commission who said, we would not exclude even genocide, but we don't have sufficient element to continue our work. You remember my former colleague, who was head of OCHA, just about 2 years ago, visited CAR and said, the press, and anyway, the journalist put in his mouth that there was a genocide. So simply to say that we should not take it lightly. Genocide can happen anywhere in the world. The second, some of them may say, well, we have already ratified the Rome Treaty, the ICC treaty. Why should we go and ratify the Genocide Convention? These are two different treaties. The genocide, the Rome Treaty is there to adjudicate cases of international crime, including genocide. But the Genocide Convention, as you notice, starts with prevention, the obligation of prevention before the obligation even of punishment. It reads the Convention for the prevention and the punishment of the crime of genocide, which means, in other words, state parties to that convention have the obligation to take all preventative measures to prevent that crime to happen. The leaders of Central African Republic did sign the protocol of the ICGLR, which is the International Conference of the Great Lake region in Africa. Why? Because those 12 countries, they were so moved by the genocide of the Tutsis in Rwanda. And they committed that what happened in Rwanda should never again happen. And let's get together and commit. And they established it, most of them, national committees for the prevention of genocide. But yet, in some of those countries, we have been witnessing atrocity crimes. I refer here particularly cases of crimes against humanity, war crimes. We have seen it in DRC. I visited Kasai. We have seen it in Sierra, and even in Kenya, we have seen in 28 the violent election which led to the death of more than 1,000 people, which ended, as you may know, to the ICC. So I think we have to be serious when we commit. And I can say that today Africa has the best architecture for peace and security, where you have even the Constitutive Act of the African Union. You have the provision Article 4H, which provide that the Assembly of the Heads of State shall intervene. I'm saying shall, not should, shall intervene whenever populations are facing the risk of genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes. This is, again, as a result of the lessons learned from the failure of the international community, the failure of the then Organization of African Unity, that the African decided to replace the principle of non-interference by what we call today the principle of non-interference. In other words, we Africans will not sit down inactive when our population are facing such a risk. And this, of course, was in 2001. And in 2005, the world leaders meeting in the city, New York, adopted a concept which is almost similar, the concept of responsibility to protect. But what are we seeing? What are we seeing today? You take situation like, for instance, in Venezuela, what people are doing. And that's why I said last week before the Human Rights Council, we need to do a better job in the United Nations when it comes to prevention. And when I say better job, I should say we need to do better job within the Security Council.
Hi, my name is Ibtisam Azim from the daily Pan-Arab newspaper Al Arab Al Jadid. My question is regarding your mythology, and could you touched a little bit about it, but could you elaborate more, and whether you also need for investigation, do you need the permission of the local authorities? What about your budget, etc.? Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, we have a very tiny budget, almost nothing. I mean, this is a small office with no more than, I think, 9 professionals. And then you have 2 admin assistants, and thanks to some countries, we had 2 GPOs, but we have almost nothing. And that's why I keep saying that member states in this organization, many of them claim that prevention is the way to go about, but very few of them invest in prevention. And I would have liked to see them investing on prevention first and foremost within their own boundaries. Look what is happening today in many Western countries. The rise of populism, although I don't like the formula populism, people, it's such a noble formula, but the rise of racism, xenophobia, name them, rise of anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, all type of discrimination. What are we doing? And I was very glad to see that the other day action was taken also regarding the observance of the rule of law in some European countries by the European Parliament. And in a couple of weeks, I will be addressing the EU high-level group on racism, xenophobia, and my voice will be heard. I was last February in the Western Balkan. Why? Because simply I saw that the reconciliation in Bosnia-Herzegovina, which is having elections very soon, there was a huge deficit of reconciliation. When a country which faced the serious crime which were finally tried by the ICTY, you have today people who are denying that there was a genocide in Srebrenica. You have people glorifying convicted war criminals. What message are we sending? So which means still we need to invest more on prevention. We could have prevented the Holocaust of the Jews in Europe